Just for everybody listening, I'm speaking to Venetia Turner, who's been one of my students for about 2 years or more and had lessons fairly regularly. So Venetia, thank you for agreeing to just do this testimonial for me. So firstly, I'd like to ask you, Venetia, how long ago did you start having lessons?
I think it was in the 1980s or 1970s, end of the 70s or beginning of the 80s.
And you told me that you actually got interested in it because originally your son was having lessons and he had a problem with his spine. So just tell me a little bit about how the lessons helped him.
Well, he'd been to an osteopath and various other people, and when he went to the Alexander teacher, that was the first person he felt had really helped him.
So did he find the strategies that he learnt and all the different things really beneficial?
Yes, I think it helped him manage his condition, and he was so impressed with it that he has recommended a lot of other people to go to Alexander teachers.
So on his recommendation, you decided to come along and have lessons?
Yes, I went along as well, and I went really to try to improve my posture.
Okay, so have you found that the lessons have benefited you?
Yes, I think they have, but at present I don't think I'm feeling the benefit I could, because I don't do enough when I'm away from, in between lessons. You know, I should do some daily practice, and I'm not doing that because I get too busy.
Yeah, the important thing there, I think I've told you already, is that it's important to keep up because you go back to your old habits if you don't keep applying the principles that you learned in the technique. So just tell me about a bit more about your posture. What do you think was the problem with your posture?
Well, I've always been told I was round shoulders, and also that I poke my head forward. And I can see that in photographs and film I've seen of myself.
Okay, you also do a lot of walking and activities like that. Do you find that you get the chance to apply the principles when you do that?
Yes, and I remember once when I was, years ago when I was going to another teacher, that I was riding my bicycle to work one day, and a friend of mine saw me, and she told me afterwards that I looked. She was very impressed with the way I looked on my bicycle, and I know that at that time I was actually thinking about the Alexander technique, and I've forgotten the term for it.
Your directions, yes.
Yes.
Alexander directions. Okay.
That's right.
So what you learn, basically, as you know, is to apply certain principles all the time. And so, how would you describe it to somebody else who's interested in learning the technique?
I usually start by telling people about the history of it, about how Alexander himself discovered it, because I know he gave recitations, and he had a problem with his throat, and he couldn't speak properly, and he practiced in front of a mirror, and he noticed that changes in his posture altered the way he spoke, and he began to develop the technique from that. I believe that's...
Yeah, and this was quite a long time ago because Alexander was born in 1869. So the Alexander technique's been around for a long time. The thing is, would you recommend the Alexander technique to anybody who's got back pain or those types of issues? What would you do?
Actually, I'd recommend it to anybody. I know it's particularly helpful to people who, for instance, people who play the violin, to riders, ballet dancers. I think it applies in any field, whatever you're doing. I think you can use the principles.
Yes, yeah, it could apply to anybody, bricklayers as well,
Yes.
you know, and anybody in any walk of life, really, surgeons, dentists, anybody who has to move around a lot, hairdressers. Okay, so you would recommend the Alexander technique?
Yes, I would.
And
I have.
And you have. Well, thank you for that. The other thing is, you don't mind me using this testimonial on my website.
No, I'm very happy for you to do that. And I think it's good for more and more people to know about it.
Well, thank you. And just for everybody, this was Venetia Turner, who is one of my students, who's been having lessons for about 2 years. So thank you again, Venetia.